So she is usually more dressed up than not. I haven't seen her dressed down, but can't remember a time of seeing her dressed down. Like I dress down all the time. Like I'd rather be dressed down and relate rather than. So my style is very different. I have my fussy Virgo rising. So anyways, that's different. But this moon has its style. And everyone's going to know her for her style and know her. She's known for her style, known for her family, known for where she, known for her feelings. She knows, has good taste in houses and homes and things. Okay, now this is in the first house. So her identity, her first house, there's all this moon feelings, her need for security is being put into her first house of her identity. She's really going to identify to the home she lives in, to mom, to home, to feeling secure, to having nice things. She's going to identify very strong to that. And it's going to be a very strong thing. I need to live this way. I have to look that. There's no way I'm going out dressed like this. I have to have this. This is quality. I'm not going to. Maybe as a teenager today, it would be someone who had to have certain designer clothes or something, but she's going to have her own style of things. And she's identifying to. So it brings this moon much more accentuated into her personality, into her whole image, the style that I'm living in, and what's practical, what's real. What do I need? I need money. I need to have things I want. I need to be doing something so I can go in the style I custom to. And that throws over to the sun in the sixth house. Yes, I need to work and prove things so I can get the money to live the way I want. So her tastes are very strong. Whether she can afford them all is the other issue. Okay, now being in the first house, that's below the horizon. It's rising and below the horizon, so it's projecting. I got to project what I need. I got to project what I want. I have to project when I feel something's nice or feels, I'm going to project it. When I don't like something, it's going to be hard not to project it. So there's going to be a strong need to express this, to put this out. Her feelings will show on her face, whether she's happy or sad, whether she's feeling secure or not. It's not about outer functional things. It's about my style, how I'm living, how I should be, how I'm going. She should be very sensitive. If she ever had too many desserts and start putting on a bit of weight, she'd be sensitive to that. But at the same time, there's the battle between this is too good to turn down. Like the dialogue, there's the fight between what's contentment, what's delightful, what's satisfying, and what's it's hard to take just what's adequate when there's something better right in front of you. Okay, so she's going to identify to this moon. It's going to strengthen the moon in a personal way, not so much in a social way, in how she has to get together, how she has to live. She's going to see this really strongly as her personality. And when she's living that way, it's good. When it's not, she's going to identify to any moon problems that come up. Anyone doesn't like her, someone's giving a hassle from family, it's going to bug her. Yes, she's going to try and she has to want to make it better. Whew. Okay. And so at the rising, below the rise, first house identity, it's angular and it's a fire house. So there's added enthusiasm. I got to do this as the Aries rising in the fire house. She's naturally going to project these feelings and these needs. She has these needs. She's going to go for it because it's in an active house. And at the Aries way, I'm going to do this. I got to do this. I got to take care of this. Who else is going to do it? I got to do this. Can't wait for this. We're going to be very alert to those things. Now, when we look at the aspects, we see some of the style and this taste. This is all the planet, the moon and the sign and in the house. These are the healing energies. These are how she's supposed to be. But the aspects show you how much stress is involved in this. So she has Saturn opposed to moon. There's problems from family. Mom and dad had difficulties when she was born. There's restrictions. So she's got, anytime she wanted in the family she grew up in the home she grew up in, there were restrictions. She didn't get what she wanted. Her wanting and what she would want would always be of a certain style and a certain determined, fixed way. And not everybody else was tuned into that. So she would feel inhibited about that, or there's some inhibition between the moon and coming from Saturn, from father, from authority. you know, like there's so many things from family or from commitments that can depress one style or depress or be too bossy, to be too restricted. It means demands on her were not always what she wanted to do. You can see the stress here, the potential. It would cause a depression. For the Saturn to the moon would cause a depression when things weren't the way she liked it. She had to do this. She'd have a work ethic of having to do things, even if she didn't like it, she would do it. But it would really bother her. So you know there was not the most comfortable upbringing just from that. But then we had Pluto and Jupiter squaring it as well, and Pluto squaring the moon adds a much more harshness and confrontation around it. So this puts in the factor that anytime you have the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, hitting a personal planet, in this case the moon, Pluto to the moon, there's the potential of some kind of abuse that was going on. But when I say abuse, I use it in a very wide sense. In this case, when she was born, the moon is her when she was born, but it's also her mother when she was born. And her chart is the transits when she was born. So her mother was feeling depressed from not being supported by the father, not feeling secure by the father when she was pregnant and about to have the baby. And squared by Pluto, she wasn't supported at all. There was harshness, there's confrontation. She had probably had a very difficult delivery and wasn't feeling supported. So her mother probably had to heal herself after the delivery and didn't have the same amount of energy to give the daughter. So there's a power struggle and confrontations of to think she's going to get what she wants at home. No, she's going to feel restricted, depressed, confronted, controlled, and challenged at home. Now, can she fix it? She may not be able to fix the home, but she needs to be trying to improve it or make it better, to help mom and do some things, but she needs to get her own lifestyle too, so no one's telling her what she has to do. So this comes out as a strong extremes around her feelings. If she were working to doing what she has to do, she'd be really disciplined and really hard working on needs to do. She could put in the 20-hour days and keep going for a number of days just because she had to do it. But she could put up with the parents demanding her she put in that, even if she didn't want it, she had to do that. So you get the sense that she wasn't supported very strongly by family, not in the style that she needed, not appreciated the way she wanted. Okay, not in the style not in the choices she would make. She'd be going to project what she likes and everyone says that's crazy, or they're not going to be, her brothers or family would not be so tuned into it. Okay, the Jupiter there, we'll deal with the conjunction Pluto later, but the Jupiter squares the moon, so there's a struggle to understand. There's a tendency to exaggerate. Okay, so on a physical level, the moon squares Jupiter. The moon's in Taurus. I like nice things. How can you have one cookie? How can you have one donut? How can you have one nice thing? How come you don't? You would certainly have 2 or 3 or add more. So there's a tendency to overeat or overindulge or want too much or overspend on what one wants, what one needs. The Jupiter exaggerates the feelings, the instincts of the moon. But in exaggerating, it creates a challenge where things can be exaggerated and then as they're exaggerated, there's a misunderstanding that comes around home and family. So if she puts out too much, what she needs, other people won't understand her and she'll be struggling to see why. If she doesn't put out enough, they'll be challenging her, telling her what to do, and not without understanding what she wanted to do. So you get the sense of, staying at home, the Taurus wants to stay at home, but really looking to stay at home is not always necessarily in her best interest. So there's a challenge and an incentive to get her own place, to have her own thing set up, to have her own style where nobody's just pushing it in. So this is the Saturn moon. At the same time, when she had kids, she would be very strong and very concerned about making sure her kids would be absolutely taken care of and they'd never have to go through what she had to go through. And she would work really hard to make sure they had everything they needed. Same thing. It just leapfrogs generations, but to her kids, she was very strongly assert what needs to be done, what she has to do, because her identity strongly needed to linked up to that moon. So you can go into this moon the more you know things, the more you walk in, you say, oh, look at what happened like that. Okay, so then you spend 5 or 10 minutes talking about this thing or that, and it just opens up and gets deeper and deeper. So it's very important to see the moon and to just have the sense of one's sense of security, what one needs to feel secure. Her expense. She likes nice things. She needs nice things. She needs to be appreciated. Lives in a style she's accustomed to and needs to not be threatened by it or challenged around it. Oh, okay. In one way, it could be the ever-demanding princess if it weren't for the fact that she's always trying to help and do things for others. Okay. So now we'll go look at the Mercury. So that's the basic. The stress factors make you aware there's a challenge around it, but the solution is not in the aspects. The solution is she still needs to live with the moon in Taurus and like how she lives and feel appreciated and feel nice about where she lives. It's got to be a nice place, got to be beautiful, comfortable. She still needs to have those moon in Taurus first house issues, regardless of the aspect. The aspect just knows she's had a rough time getting there. Okay. At the same time, okay, that's a good enough. So you can keep going on. We got to stop. We got to go on to the next ones, yeah. So we're going to look at Mercury next. Mercury's moon is the way you feel and you reflect on things. When she reflects on things, she's going to be very practical in what she reflects on. That was good. That wasn't good. Boy, I almost ran out of money there. Boy, I needed this or I have to get this. She's going to be reflecting on practical things. Even if she has psychic energy, it's going to tend to come out like practical ways. I get a chill, I feel a chill, I feel something. It's going to come out in a physical, tactile way, not so much in the emotional, imaginative ways. Well, it can be imaginative, but it's basically that quality is there. Her Mercury is in Libra, in the 7th house, and it's squaring Uranus and conjunct Neptune. That's it. It's conjunct Neptune and squares Uranus. Okay, so there's 2 outer planet aspects coming onto Mercury. So we'll come to this.